watching The John Funk Show, and today is about the art of sound. Any conversation on this subject matter has to begin with 1927 and The Jazz Singer, which was the first motion picture to incorporate sound. And since then, you've had this battle between realistic and stylized. You saw as early as Walt Disney's Silly Symphonies, and in Eisenstein, Alexander Nevsky, Battle on the Ice, the use of cymbals instead of realistic sound effects for breaking ice. You've had sound that's either dialogue, music, or effects. Sound types including ambient, selective, or silence. And sound that is what I like to refer to as contrapuntal. And I'll give you a few, meaning it's a counterpoint for a creative use of sound. For example, in Mr. Hewlett's Holiday, one of my favorite comedies, it's a mostly silent film. The gags and the humor are all physical comedy, but it is a sound film just with minimal sound, and there's this door that opens and closes with the sound effect of a guitar twang. In Blood of a Poet by Jean Cocteau, he juxtaposes the plastic or the image of five people who are silent, not speaking, with the orchestral element, the sound effect of voila, meaning again, opposites. The sound of a crowded, many people, but they're silent. So again, opposites. 8.5 by Fellini, you've got the contrapuntal sound used as comedy. The image is a bunch of old people walking around, and the music is very triumphant. Again, opposites. I could riff on that for a minute. Holy Mountain. Very interesting film. Let's just say that and move on. There's a dog that we see, and the sound effect is a horse's hooves. So again, opposites, making us think about the relationship between picture and sound, and what is the artist trying to say or imply. You've got Roger and Me, the visual by Roger Moore, the visual of Desolation. I believe it's like a tracking shot outside of a car with lower economic visuals of houses, and it's desolate. But the music is Beach Boys, which is very happy, and again, the filmmaker is saying something about lost times and irony. And in Ran by Akira Kurosawa, which is one of my most favorite films, and my passion project is actually a kind of a European version of Ran, and it's kind of funny because Ran is based on European stories. But anyway, Ran has a wide shot but close-up audio, so using sound perspective to make a statement. I could go into what that means, but let's just leave it at that for now. There's a whole lot you can do with sound perspective and panning to make a statement creatively. In Raging Bull, Martin Scorsese, obviously the image of fighting and violence, but with animal sound effects. Again, this is stylized, not realistic. It's counterpoint. But again, making a metaphor, making a statement. La Atlante, we've got somebody who touches a record player, and the the sound is music because they're remembering the music. So it's playing around with diegesis and the diegetic elements. You've got Do the Right Thing by Spike Lee. I believe Radio Raheem's radio is smashed, and yet we hear the music. We know that's not realistic. We know that's not really going on, but it's making a statement. We can get into the specifics as to that, but again, it's a creative use of picture and sound juxtaposition, opposites. I already gave you the in Eisenstein, and then Kill Bill and Matrix. I heard them use the same sound effect for bowling ball pins for knocking over a bunch of people. Not realistic. Hidden, buried within the tracks to enhance the soundscape of those films. Look, there are a lot of other examples we could get into. The Motion Picture Sound Editors Guild, MPSC, has the Golden Reel Sound Awards, where they kind of honor some of the best designers in this world. Of course, we have to talk about Ben Burtt for Star Wars, and Richard King of Dune as really good examples of sound designers. I like to keep these videos short, so I will just say I also talk about in the tuning of the world. They talk about keynotes, barometers, and indexes of sounds. And keynotes are cultural sounds that are specific to a space. I'm from Maryland. Cicadas. You hear cicadas a lot growing up. Very specific sounds to the space. So sound is something that filmmakers, it's one of the main aesthetics of artistic filmmaking. And anyway, when John Funk Productions makes a film, and on a John Funk film, counter to most of these Hollywood people, I work on sound as early as script stage, and I work on it as early as possible. I give it as much of an emphasis as everything else, and that is part of the secret to creating what I call elevated or organic cinema, meaning quality film that stands the test of time. The art of sound is very special, and for any filmmaker, you should really dive into sound, and it will not be as obvious as the visuals, but emotion is what lives forever, and how you make your audience feel, and people will feel it even if they don't really understand what's going on. They'll feel it. So sound is film, and film is forever. Until our next video, thank you.